Our good day. If you give me $5, I will be your friend forever. That's what the little one tells me. $5 is cheap since I don't have any friends except Kathy, who is only my friend till Tuesday. $5, $5. She is trying to get somebody to chip in so they can buy a bicycle from this kid named Tito. They already have $10 and all they need is 5 more. Only $5, she says. Don't talk to them, says Kathy. Can't you see they smell like a broom? But I like them. Their clothes are crooked and old. They are wearing shiny Sunday shoes without socks. It makes their bald ankles all red, but I like them. Especially the big one, who laughs with all her teeth. I like her even though she lets the little one do all the talking. $5, the little one says. Only 5. Kathy is tugging my arm, and I know whatever I do next will make her mad forever. Wait a minute, I say, and run inside to get the $5. I have $3 saved, and I take 2 of Nenny's. She's not home, but I'm sure she'll be glad when she finds out we own a bike. When I get back, Kathy is gone, like I knew she would be, but I don't care. I have 2 new friends and a bike, too. My name is Lucy, the big one says. This here is Rachel, my sister. I'm her sister, says Rachel. Who are you? And I wish my name was Cassandra, or Alexis, or Maritza. Anything but Esperanza. But when I tell them my name, they don't laugh. We come from Texas, Lucy says and grins. Her was born here, but me, I'm Texas. You mean she, I say. No, I'm from Texas and doesn't get it. This bike is 3 ways ours, says Rachel, who was thinking ahead already. Mine today, Lucy's tomorrow, and yours day after. But everybody wants to ride it today because the bike is new. So we decide to take turns after tomorrow. Today, it belongs to all of us. I don't tell them about Nenny just yet. It's too complicated, especially since Rachel almost put out Lucy's eye about who was going to get to ride it first. But finally, we agreed to ride it together. Why not? Because Lucy has long legs, she pedals. I sit on the back seat, and Rachel is skinny enough to get up on the handlebars, which makes the bike all wobbly, as if the wheels are spaghetti. But after a bit, you get used to it. We ride fast and faster, past my house, sad and red and crumbling in places, past Mr. Benny's grocery on the corner, and down the avenue, which is dangerous. Laundromat, junk store, drugstore, windows and cars and more cars, and around the block, back to Mango. People on the bus wave. A very fat lady crossing the street says, You sure got quite a load there, Rachel shouts. You got quite a load there, too. She is very sassy. Down Mango Street we go. Rachel, Lucy, B, our new bicycle, laughing the crooked ride back. Laughter. Nenny and I don't look like sisters, not right away. Not the way you can tell with Rachel and Lucy, who have the same fat popsicle lips like everybody else in their family. But me and Nenny, we are more alike than you would know. Our laughter, for example, not the shy ice cream bells giggles of Rachel and Lucy's family, but all of a sudden, and surprised, like a pile of dishes breaking, and other things I can't explain. One day we were passing a house that looked, in my mind, like houses I had seen in Mexico. I don't know why. There was something about the house that looked exactly like the houses I remembered. I'm not even sure why I thought it, but it seemed to feel right. Look at that house, I said. It looks like Mexico. Rachel and Lucy look at me like I'm crazy, but before they can let out a laugh, Nanny says, Yes, that's Mexico, all right. That's what I was thinking exactly. Gil's Furniture bought and sold. There is a junk store. An old man owns it. We bought a used refrigerator from him once, and Carlos sold a box of magazines for $1. The store is small with just a dirty window for light. He doesn't turn the lights on, unless you got money to buy things with. So in the dark, we look and see all kinds of things, me and Nenny. Tables with their feet upside down, and rows of refrigerators, with round corners and couches that spin dust in the air when you punch them, and 100 TVs that don't work properly. Everything is on top of everything, so the whole store has skinny aisles to walk through. You can get lost easy. The owner, he is a black man who doesn't talk much, and sometimes, if you didn't know better, you could be in there a long time before your eyes notice a pair of gold glasses floating in the dark. Nenny, who thinks she is smart and talks to any old man, asks lots of questions. Me, I never said nothing to him, except once when I bought the Statue of Liberty for $10. But Nenny, I hear her asking one time, How's this here? And the man says, This is a music box. and I turn around quick thinking he means a pretty box with flowers painted on it with a ballerina inside. Only there's nothing like that where this old man is pointing out, just a wood box that's old and got a big brass record in it with holes. Then he starts it up and all sorts of things start happening. It's like all of a sudden he let go a million moths all over the dusty furniture, and swan-neck shadows and in our bones. It's like drops of water, or like marimbas, only with a funny little pluck sound to it, like if you were running your fingers across the teeth of a metal comb. And then, I don't know why, but I have to turn around and pretend I don't care about the box, so Nenny won't see how stupid I am. But Nenny, who is stupider, already is asking how much, and I can see her fingers going for the quarters in her pants pocket. This, the old man says, shutting the lid, this ain't for sale. Memi Ortiz. Memi Ortiz moved into Kathy's house after her family moved away. His name isn't really Meme. His name is Juan. But when we asked him what his name was, he said Meme, and that's what everybody calls him except his mother. Meme has a dog with gray eyes, a sheepdog with two names, one in English and one in... Memi Ortiz. Memi Ortiz moved into Kathy's house after her family moved away. His name isn't really Meme. His name is Juan. But when we asked him what his name was, he said Meme, and that's what everybody calls him except his mother. Meme has a dog with gray eyes, a sheepdog with two names, one in English and one in Spanish. The dog is big, like a man dressed in a dog suit, and runs the same way its owner does, clumsy and wild, and with the limbs flapping all over the place like untied shoes. Kathy's father built the house Meme moved into. It is wooden, inside the floor is slant, some rooms uphill, some down, and there are no closets. Out front, there are 21 steps, all lopsided and jutting like crooked teeth. Made that way on purpose, Kathy said, so the rain will slide off. And when Meme's mama calls from the doorway, Meme goes scrambling up the 21 wooden stairs with the dog with two names scrambling after him. Around the back is a yard, mostly dirt, and a greasy bunch of boards that used to be a garage. But what you remember most is this tree, huge, with fat arms and mighty families of squirrels in the higher branches. All around, the neighborhood of roofs, black tarred and A-frames, and in their gutters, the balls that never came back down to earth. Down at the base of the tree, the dog with two names barks into the empty air. And there, at the end of the block, looking smaller still, our house with its feet tucked under like a cat. This is the tree we chose for the first annual Tarzan jumping contest. Meme won and broke both arms. Louis, his cousin, and his other cousin. Downstairs from Meme's is a basement apartment that Meme's mother fixed up and rented to a Puerto Rican family, Louis' family. Louis is the oldest in a family of little sisters. He is my brother's friend, really, but I know he has two cousins and that his t-shirts never stay tucked in his pants. Louis' girl cousin is older than us. She lives with Louis' family because her own family is in Puerto Rico. Her name is Marin or Maurice or something like that, and she wears dark nylons all the time and lots of makeup she gets free from selling Avon. She can't come out, gotta babysit with Louis' sisters, but she stands in the doorway a lot, all the time singing, clicking her fingers the same song. Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie, you're in love and so am I. Louis has another cousin. We only saw him once, but it was important. We were playing volleyball in the alley when he drove up in this great big yellow Cadillac with white balls and the yellow scarves tied around the mirror. Louis' cousin had his arm out the window. He honked a couple of times, and a lot of faces looked out from Louis' back window, and a lot of people came out, Louis, Marin, and all the little sisters. Everybody looked inside the car and asked where he got it. There were white rugs and white leather seats. We all asked for a ride and asked where he got it. Louis' cousin said, "Get in." We each had to sit with one of Louis' little sisters on our lap. But that was okay. The seats were big and soft like a sofa, and there was a little white cat in the back window whose eyes lit up when the car stopped or turned. The windows didn't roll up like in ordinary cars. Instead, there was a button that did it for you automatically. We rode up the alley and around the block 6 times, but Louis' cousin said he was going to make us walk home if we didn't stop playing with the windows or touching the FM radio. The seventh time we drove into the alley, we heard sirens. Real quiet at first, but then louder. Louie's cousin stopped the car right where we were and said, "Everybody out of the car!" Then he took off, flooring the car into a yellow blur. We hardly had time to think when the cop car pulled in the alley, going just as fast. We saw the yellow Cadillac at the end of the block, trying to make a left-hand turn, but our alley is too skinny. And the car crashed into a lamppost. Marin screamed, and we ran down the block to where the cop car's siren spun a dizzy blue. The nose of that yellow Cadillac was all pleated like an alligator's, and except for a bloody lip and a bruised forehead, Louie's cousin was okay. They put handcuffs on him and put him in the back seat of the cop car, and we all waved as they drove away. Marin. Marin's boyfriend is in Puerto Rico. She shows us his letters and makes us promise not to tell anybody they're getting married when she goes back to the PR. She says he didn't get a job yet, but she's saving the money she gets from selling Avon and taking care of her cousins. Marin says that if she stays here next year, she's going to get a real job downtown because that's where the best jobs are, since you always get to look beautiful, and get to wear nice clothes, and can meet someone in the subway who might marry you and take you to live in a big house far away. But next year, Louie's parents are going to send her back to her mother with the letter, saying she's too much trouble and that is too bad, because I like Marin. She is older and knows lots of things. She is the one who told us how Davy the baby's sister got pregnant, and what cream is better for taking off mustache hair. And if you count the white flecks on your fingernails, you can know how many boys are thinking of you, and lots of other things I can't remember now. We never see Marin until her aunt comes home from work, and even then, she can only stay out in front. She is there every night with the radio. When the light in her aunt's room goes out, Marin lights a cigarette, and it doesn't matter if it's cold out, or if the radio doesn't work, or if we've got nothing to say to each other. What matters, Marin says, is for the boys to see us, and for us to see them. And since Marin's skirts are shorter, and since her eyes are pretty, and since Marin is already older than us in many ways, the boys who do pass by say stupid things like, "I am in love with those 2 green apples you call eyes. Give them to me, why don't you?" And Marin just looks at them without even blinking and is not afraid. Marin, under the streetlight, dancing by herself, is singing the same song somewhere, I know, is waiting for a car to stop, a star to fall, someone to change her life. Those who don't. Those who don't know any better come to our neighborhood scared. They think we're dangerous. They think we will attack them with shiny knives. They are stupid people who were lost and got here by mistake. But we aren't afraid. We know the guy with the crooked eye is David the baby's brother, and the tall one next to him in the straw brim, that's Rosa's Eddie V. And the big one that looks like a dumb grown man, he's Fat Boy, though he's not fat anymore. Nor a boy. All brown, all around, we are safe. But watch us drive into a neighborhood of another color, and our knees go shakety-shake, and our car windows get rolled up tight, and our eyes look straight. Yeah, that is how it goes and goes. There was an old woman, she had so many children she didn't know what to do. Rosa Vargas's kids are too many and too much. It's not her fault, you know, except she is their mother and only one against so many. They are bad, those Vargases, and how can they help it with only one mother who is tired all the time from buttoning and bottling and babying, and who cries every day for the man who left without even leaving $1 for bologna or a note explaining how come. The kids bend trees and bounce between cars and dangle upside down from knees and almost break like fancy museum vases you can't replace. They think it's funny. They are without respect for all things living, including themselves. But after a while, you get tired of being worried about kids who aren't even yours. One day, they are playing chicken on Mr. Benny's roof. Mr. Benny says, "Hey, ain't you kids no better than to be swinging up there? Come down. You come down right now." And then they just spit. See, that's what I mean. No wonder everybody gave up. Just stopped looking out when little Ephraim chipped his buck tooth on a parking meter, and didn't even stop Refugia from getting her head stuck between 2 slats in the back gate. and nobody looked up. Not once the day Angel Vargas learned to fly and dropped from the sky like a sugar donut, just like a falling star, and exploded down to earth without even an O.